This Misono Carbon 8-inch chef knife has been in my kitchen for 2 weeks and is just starting to feel slightly dull, and I think it's a good time to sharpen it. One of my viewers last week sent me a really quick comment after seeing the sharpening on the brick video, and the comment was simply, "Go sharpen on a rock." So that's what we're gonna do today. And let's see how sharp we can get this knife. Okay, so here we are. It's really nice outside today. It's the first day that it's like 60 degrees out. Yeah, it's like 60 degrees right now. It feels really nice. Let's go find a rock. To my backyard. Ooh, anyone need a lawnmower? Let's see, this one's kind of, does that look like good? Yeah, this is a good, nice potential here. All right, let's see here. Ooh, this is nice and round. Okay, so I'm gonna try this one right here. It's like an egg. Doesn't have any flat spots, so it's gonna be a bit unstable. But let's see what we can do. Oh, the recorder never stops recording. Oh, here we go. Ooh, that's a bit unstable. Here we have water. Ooh, look at that beautiful shiny rock. Let's dull it. Ooh, I hate this part. Well, I don't hate it, but I just haven't done it in so long. Yikes. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Oh. Ooh. Oh, that's a new one. Ooh, yikes. Yee. All right. Let's see now. Okay. So, it's dull. This is the PT50A for those who are curious. It's a BEST certified weight scale. It's an ultra fine or ultra sensitive scale that can measure how much weight in terms of grams it takes for a knife to produce a cut on this filament right here. My finger, 290. Okay, so we're gonna go and measure. Oh dear. It wouldn't even cut. I had to press it way down, and the scale is at 1,183. So it's quite dull. It's basically a dead edge at this point. Now the goal is to bring that dead edge back. Okay, this feels better. This down here. Okay, is that gonna work better? Yeah, that's better. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. No burr. Okay. Too soon. Oops. Okay, yeah, still no burr. Alright, so this knife is sliding all over this place, and there's no flat spots on this rock. So I'm not getting any sort of control on this rock necessarily. So far though, I haven't scratched the profile of this knife yet, so that's a good thing. Let's go a little longer here. All right, so just for the sake of, oh, excuse me, excuse me. All right, so back to sharpening. So this is definitely more challenging than sharpening on a brick because there's no stability on this rock. And yeah, so, and I'm also, because of how it's shaped, I have to move my hand further back than I normally would. So that's, you know, those two things are just altering my sharpening experience just a little bit. All right, let's go here. Yeah, you see, the moment I put any pressure on this knife, especially with my left hand, the knife or the rock, it tips over. Just a little bit, not tip over, but it moves quite a bit. Okay, there's a ever slight micro burr developing. And I just need to get a couple of spots on this knife, and I think we can probably flip the knife over. Let's give it some water. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I got the spot that I wanted. Okay, now we can flip this knife around. All right, let's see here. Oh boy. Okay, all right. Let's get, all right, here we go. Why am I moving the dirt around as if it's like developing a slur? Oh my goodness. I've lost it. You just gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. Okay, time to get serious. Okay, the burr is flipped over. There's no burr on the left side. And there's a itty bitty burr on the right side. More at the bottom I need. Okay. Okay, I think we can move forward here. All right, so now we're gonna count down, and I'm gonna go from 12 strokes down to 10 strokes to 8 strokes, 6, 4, 2, you know, the counting down stuff. All right. No, it's 12, I think. All right, right here. Okay. Down at 10. That was 8. That was 8. Okay, that was 6. So if for those who are wondering, in terms of counting down, when I go 1 and count back up, that's 1 complete stroke. That's how I'm counting. So for those who are curious. So now we're down to 6. Down to 4. Go down to 2. Now, once I get to 2, I typically like to do it for at least 6 times to maybe 12 pairs of pulls. And the reason I want to do at least 6 pairs to 12 pairs of pulls is because it gives the stone, in this case the rock, a chance to really realign the microburr at the edge of the knife, and without having it to worry about kind of folding over the center. And so you're getting your burr right now to stand up as closely as possible to the apex, or is it very very top of the apex. So now I'm going to go 1 stroke each, and hopefully by that time the edge will be clean enough, and we'll see how sharp this knife is. Okay. Let's see how we did. All right. Okay. The moment of truth. Okay, we're not quite there yet. So, what can we do differently this time? Wonder if we strop it. Let's try stropping it. All right, let's try this again. It's not great, but what does the scale say? Let's see here. All right, let's try the scale. All right, let's see. This thing is annoying. Oh. Let's try this again. Uh, 452. You know, it's not bad. What's the scale say? Or what does the chart say? Where is that chart? Okay, so at 452, we are at moderate rolled edge. So it's not great. It's a rolled edge. All right, so the goal is to bring it down to below 300, I think. So between 300 to it looks like 350 or 360, it's new high-end cutlery edge. Let's go back on the rock. Where's my water? Okay. this is me, but maybe this rock has a lot of oils in it. I see a lot of like that rainbow color. Yeah, there's quite a bit of, yeah, maybe that's why it's slipping so much. But let's just drop on this rock a few more times. And this. Now, is it me, or can sharpening on a rock be very therapeutic? I'm not even overstating that. Feels just... I love sharpening knives, as you guys can probably tell. But yeah, it's therapeutic for me. All right, let's stop there. Okay, maybe it's a little bit better. Let's try this drop. All right, let's see. Hello. T-shirt catalogs. Yeah, I get them once in a while. They make great cutting paper. It's okay. All right, let's see what the PT-50A says. let's see here. 346. Okay, so that's one cut. Let's see if we can get a slightly better score or an average score of at least 2 cuts or so. So 346 and 349. Okay, so 346 and 349. So according to Bess, this is what relatively high-end cutlery should come out of the box. It feels okay. Magazine paper, as you guys know, I guess they have a lot of clay in them, so it makes them hard to cut, or harder to cut. It's okay, I know. I'm used to my knives being in the low 200s and the mid 100s, according to the best measurements anyways. I mean, it's acceptable for most kitchens. I think, if I brought this into the kitchen, anyone who uses this knife will not know that it was sharpened on a rock, and it's dropped on just a piece of. This is the raw equine that I've got right now. It's my latest leather that I'm testing for long-term use, and so far I like it. So I mean, it's the results are fine. It's not I'm not wowed at the results, but it's good. I mean, the edge is good. Anything under, like I said, 350 is good. Anything under 300 would be better. I was hoping to target 300, but at 340, what are we at? 349. I'm happy with the edge from just a rock from the backyard. I guess I should talk about the experience of sharpening on this rock. All right, so people should keep in mind is when you sharpen on a brick or a rock, you shouldn't expect the same results as a whetstone. Whetstones are designed from the ground up to sharpen knives with high Rockwells. This is a 61. This is a 60 Rockwell, not a 61, 60. So it's getting there on the higher end of the Rockwell scale. I'm pretty sure knives in the lower Rockwell scale will be much easier to sharpen on a rock or a brick. But at 60, you're getting into the hard Japanese knife territory. I have never sharpened on a rock before, so I wasn't sure if I should look for a flat rock or a rock with a dome. I figure I'd go with a rock with a dome because the flat rock is going to be extremely hard to flatten, and you really can't, unless you put a diamond plate to it, you really can't get a truly flat edge. So I chose a dome option. Sharpening on a dome, I knew that I would not be able to do any sort of the push and pull on the sharpening, and I would have to kind of keep everything basically sharpen on a very tight square or dot, and basically the knife had to move across one plane or one section of the rock and just remain there. That was a bit more difficult on this knife, mainly because the dome is there, but there was also a lot of grit. I didn't bother washing this rock, which I probably should have. If you want to sharpen on a rock, I would encourage you to wash your rock first. There was a ton of grit and a ton of dirt falling off this rock while I was sharpening. So as I was sharpening, as I'm pulling the knife across the surface, the knife is really shifting. It's shifting as much as like a half an inch from one section of the knife to the other, or further down the rock as I'm pulling on the rock. So I would say get your rock cleaned before you sharpen on a rock. The second thing was I would say after maybe 5 or 10 minutes of sharpening, I found my groove, and that was actually when things felt really nice. That's really, for me, sharpening is really what it's all about. It's not about getting the perfect edge, which I hope to attain at every sharpening, but for me, sharpening is therapeutic. I love it. It's relaxing. It's zen-like. And so once I found my groove, it really became enjoyable. And then, you know, for the first, I don't know, 5 minutes or 10 minutes of sharpening, it's very unstable. I had to put a couple of different pieces of wood underneath it and then wedge a t-shirt soaked in mineral oil at one end. This technique, you know, the crescent technique, is most efficient when you are able to go from tip to heel and heel to tip in one smooth motion. If you go from heel to tip and heel to tip and you flip it back and forth, you can do that. It's probably going to give you the best result in terms of evenness on your cutting edge, but that is by far the most inefficient way to sharpen a knife, at least hand sharpening, because you're going one stroke at a time versus 2 strokes at a time. So, you know, in theory, if you were to go from heel to tip and back and forth in a smooth motion, you can sharpen a knife in half the time. So that kind of gives you an idea of how inefficient the single stroke method is. In a push and pull though, that time would be reduced even further than half. Should you go out and get a rock to sharpen on? It's fun to do. If you have a rock in your backyard, then go out and get one and try it. It's inefficient, and for some people it can be very frustrating, and for me, I think just sharpening in general I love. So for me, whether it's sharpening on a rock or a whetstone, I just love the process. So if you enjoy sharpening, then yeah, go ahead and try it and do it and have fun. But be aware though, with that much slippage on a rock, you will have a much higher increased chance of scratching the profile of your blade. I am really lucky that didn't happen this time. Like, there is absolutely 0 scratches on the profile of the blade, which I'm really happy about. So I was able to maintain a very steady hand, which I'm happy about. That's the other thing too, when you're sharpening on a new surface that you've never done before, especially for people who are new to sharpening, it's very easy to scratch the profile of your blades. So if you do this on a rock, if you want to sharpen and try it on a rock, try it. Don't use a $150 knife like what I've got here. You know, do it on something more affordable. You know, so you know, I bought this knife a few months ago, and I finally have got I've had the time to use it in my kitchen, and I really like this knife. I'll do a full review on this knife, hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so, for those who are curious. And then the third thing would just be, it's slow. It's a very slow process. It's very hard, very dense. It's, you know, it's pretty hard to sharpen on if you are new to sharpening. So just be aware. Other than that though, you can certainly get a decent edge. You can see the first score that I got after I, you know, dulled the knife was what, 1,183. That's fairly dull. Between 900 and 1350 is severely rolled edge. And yes, that was a very severely rolled edge. But yeah, I mean, so I got a really, really dull edge, and we got it down to, you know, beneath 350, which is considered high-end cutlery edges. So I'm happy with that. So, you know, in black and white on paper, this right now is a very sharp edge. I was hoping for a better edge, but we got a good edge. All right, but yeah, I definitely want to hear from you guys. You know, what other methods you guys are using if you guys have sharpened on rocks. What other knives you guys have sharpened successfully on rocks, whether it be Japanese knives, hunting knives, you know, your EDCs, or your German chef knives, and what methods you guys have been using to sharpen on rocks. All right, definitely want to hear from you. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll catch you in the next video. So after I'm done reviewing a knife, I basically just give it away. So this knife will be given away to one of my Patreon supporters in the next couple of weeks or so. So yeah, it'll be announced on Patreon soon. This here is the Kato. This is the Kato 210 R2 or SG2 core steel. Yeah, so this is the next knife going into the kitchen. Custom handle. I mean, that is a beautiful, beautiful handle. A true hammered finish knife. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'll post a video review of this knife probably in about 2 to 3 weeks from now. Yeah.